You ever seen a man break without saying a word? That's exactly what happened on a quiet afternoon outside a rundown diner, when a single-dad veteran named Jack Carter stood alone against 5 roaring bikes. The kind of scene that makes you want to lean closer to the screen, because you just know something is about to explode. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because what happens next will leave you speechless. Jack wasn't a man who looked for trouble. He was a man who had already seen too much of it. A decorated combat veteran who once led rescue missions overseas, Jack now lived a quiet life with his 8-year-old son, Eli. Every morning, they'd walk hand in hand to the little diner he worked at, Maggie's Grill. It wasn't much, but it was honest work. Jack cleaned tables, fixed chairs, and smiled through the exhaustion. He didn't talk about the war. Didn't talk about his scars. Just wanted peace. But peace has a funny way of testing people who truly deserve it. One Friday afternoon, the kind of day when the air smells like gasoline and dust, a group of bikers rolled into town. Loud, drunk, mean. Their leader, a big guy with a cobra tattoo crawling up his neck, called himself Reaper. They parked outside Maggie's Grill, tossing beer cans on the sidewalk like they owned the place. Jack stepped outside with a polite smile. "Afternoon, fellas. Can't park that close to the door. Customers need to." Reaper cut him off with a shove. "Customers? You ain't one of 'em. You're just the help." His crew laughed. Jack didn't react. He'd seen worse. But when Reaper turned and spat near little Eli, who stood clutching his dad's apron, Jack's knuckles went white. "Hey," he said quietly. "Don't ever do that again." Reaper grinned. "Or what, soldier boy? You gonna call your army buddies? Oh wait, you don't have any left." The laughter stung more than the shove. But Jack stayed silent. He just took Eli's hand and walked back inside. He didn't want his boy to see him angry, because when men like Jack do get angry, it's a storm no one can stop. For days, the bikers kept coming back. They'd make noise, block customers, even mess with Jack's truck. The diner owner, old Maggie herself, begged him to ignore them. "They'll move on, honey," she said softly. "They always do." But they didn't. One night, after closing, Jack found his truck's windshield smashed, his tires slashed, and a crude word spray painted on the door: "Coward." He stood there under the flickering streetlight, the anger boiling deep beneath his calm face. Then his phone buzzed, a picture message. It was Eli, his little boy asleep on the couch, clutching the stuffed bear Jack had given him from the base. The sight broke something inside him. Jack wiped his eyes, pulled out his phone, and made one single call. A call he swore he'd never make again. "Ghost team," came a gravelly voice on the other end. "This is Carter," Jack said quietly. "I'm calling in a favor." The next morning, the town woke up to silence. No roaring bikes. No drunk laughter. The street outside Maggie's Grill was empty. Then, one by one, black SUVs rolled into town. No sirens, no flash. Just men in black jackets, clean-cut and calm. Veterans. Jack's old unit. Inside the diner, Reaper and his crew were eating breakfast, smirking like kings. Until the door opened. Jack walked in first, calm, composed, eyes cold as winter. Behind him, 6 men followed. Not soldiers in uniform, but warriors who didn't need one. Reaper sneered. "What's this, a reunion?" Jack didn't answer. He just placed his phone on the table and pressed play. A video began, Reaper and his gang harassing locals, stealing, threatening. Jack had recorded everything. "I sent copies," Jack said. Voice low. "To the sheriff. To the state police. And to some people who don't like seeing vets bullied in their own town." Reaper's grin faded. One of Jack's men stepped closer, placing a heavy hand on his shoulder. "You think you're tough, son?" The man growled. "Try surviving Baghdad nights without sleep or water." By the time the police showed up, the bikers were pale and quiet. No one knew exactly what happened between those moments, only that the entire gang was arrested without a fight. Rumors spread that they were banned from every bar, every road in the county. When it was over, Jack just stood outside, watching Eli run toward him. The little boy hugged his father's leg. "You're not mad anymore, right?" Jack smiled softly. "No, buddy. I'm just done being quiet." Days later, Maggie handed Jack an envelope, a letter from the sheriff himself, thanking him for his service and for keeping calm when others wouldn't. The diner became busier than ever. Locals called him, the quiet guardian. And yet, Jack never bragged. Never posted about it. He just went back to flipping pancakes, helping Eli with homework, and enjoying the peace he fought for. But sometimes, late at night, he'd look at his phone, that one number still saved under, Ghost Team, and smile. Not out of pride, but out of gratitude, that when darkness came knocking again, he still had brothers who'd answer. Because some battles never end. They just find quieter heroes. So if you believe in standing up against bullies, in loyalty, in the power of staying kind even when the world isn't, hit that like button, subscribe, and remember. True strength isn't about how loud you roar. It's about how calm you stay when the storm hits.